Guys, DJS here, CollectiveKicks.com. Wanted to bring you guys this week's Collective Kicks weekly recap. This is a segment basically on my YouTube channel where I cover all of the week's news from my website, CollectiveKicks.com. It will be linked in the description if you guys are interested in any of the articles or the website if you haven't seen it. But let's go ahead and get into the news. There's a ton of it. I'll start off. Also, I wanted to mention that somebody suggested starting off at the furthest back article and working my way forward, but I tried to do it and it just didn't really work out very smoothly, so I'm going to do it the same way I've done and start most recent and work my way back. And I'm going to kind of breeze through some of these and then focus on some of the other ones as we go. Asics Atmos collaboration, Gel-Lyte 5 Camo colorway looks really, really dope in my opinion. No official release date on those yet, but I really like what we can see from the images. And the Asics Gel-Lyte 5 is one of those models that I'm secretly like scoping out, waiting for some dope colorways to drop to be able to pick up a couple more pairs of them. I think I have one or two pairs of fives right now, but it's definitely one that I want more of. And this is one of the ones that I definitely want to pick up. So hopefully we'll get a release date, and hopefully it will be big enough of a release that I can actually cop them. Nicki Minaj unveils her pink print Jordans, as she calls them, and you can see down here. This is what they look like. So kind of interesting looking model. What do you guys think about the sneakers? They look like Air Jordan 1s kind of, with kind of like a trim of the Air Jordan 11 with a gold print around that, with the gold wings logos on them. I'm not sure if they're going to be releasing or what's going to happen with those. If they did release, regardless if people think they're ugly or not, I bet they would sell out. She has 18 million followers on Instagram, and I mean, she definitely has a presence, and they definitely fit her style, just kind of crazy and wild and stuff. But she performed at Jordan Brand Classic in New York this last weekend and unveiled these as she was going to perform. So I thought that was kind of neat. Most people are like, "Oh, those are ugly though," but they're not. They're not traditional Jordans. But really, it is kind of what it is. I mean, it's I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting to see, and it kind of feels like she's following the footsteps of Drake. But we'll get into the Drake part in a little bit here, where there's more information about a Drake quick strike that ended up, or the OVO quick strike that ended up happening. Moving on though, the Nike LeBron 12 Low Entourage colorway. This isn't the official name, Entourage, but it's one that I'm definitely sticking with just because it looks very similar to the Entourage LeBron 8s, which I do have in my collection. It's my only 8s that I have. And it looks good though. It looks like a Golden State Warrior kind of colorway as well. So I'm sure that the like Nightwing will be happy with these. But the LeBron lows have been killing it, man. And since I've did a video on that, like, I do think that they're not as limited as they're being like led to believe. Like every other week we're seeing LeBron Palmer's being released at a new store. Like, so it feels like there's just like a lot of shipping delivery delays, and they're not consistently releasing them on a tight schedule. And because of that, it just seems like they're more limited. And so I don't know, it's an interesting approach, probably by accident because of shipping not happening, but it makes it look like they're more limited and people like jump on that hype bandwagon. But as soon as they're more widely available, it seems like people aren't going to care about them. Honestly, if they were widely available, I don't think anybody would care about them anyway. But you guys can prove me wrong. I mean, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. I just feel like it's definitely, there's a bandwagon sort of effect going on, and so far so good, I guess, for Nike's sake, because it's selling out of the LeBron lows, which they have not been doing too much of the high top or the mids. Moving on, the Bugs Bunny kind of themed Air Jordan 29. Again, not an official like naming convention. Bugs Bunnies. I don't see the Bugs Bunny resemblance personally. I do see the Air Jordan 7 look. It looks like the soles of the Air Jordan 7, and they look pretty dope given that. So more information to come officially about that. And I don't have too much at this time, just the first look of the image that we saw. Nike KYRIE 1 Home colorway, the white infrared, released this Friday. If you guys are planning on copying, I don't think it's going to be too hyped up, but it's definitely a nice looking colorway. I don't know if I'm going to pick them up or not yet. There's just so many other releases, I might not pick them up. But it's definitely one that if I was like at the Nike employee store, I'd pick them up in a heartbeat. I just don't know if I'll be able to pick them up at retail, because there's so many other ones I'm focused on. And we'll get into all the releases at the end of the video. But the Nike Air Max 90 Cork colorway is dropping on Friday the 23rd. There's actually two other colorways of Air Max 90s. These ones are 135. The other two colorways are 160. Kind of interesting why they're more expensive than these ones, when these ones look like they'd be the premium product. But I hope that they're right and they're only 135. Definitely plan on copping these because infrared Cork, it's kind of a winning combination if you ask me. This is a test article from a writer that is trying out for the site. So check this one out. Leave some feedback if you guys would like in the comment section. But it's first look Concepts New Balance 574 Bostons. Pretty dope looking sneaker in my opinion. But more information in the article if you guys are interested. Our Collective Kicks 4/18/15. MisterHYPE wrote this article up or collaborated and put this all together. And shout out to all the people that are using the Collective Kicks hashtag. If you guys aren't using it, feel free to do it. It's Collective Kicks. That's pretty much it in one word. But these things are crazy. JD is a dope dude. I follow him on Instagram as well. He is a Nike employee, so just throwing that disclaimer out there. But he does have some really cool pairs of sneakers, and these ones are fresh though. And Ultra Flights and the Supersonics, Gary Payton colorway. I don't know is it yeah, Gary Payton. It is Gary Payton's signature. I couldn't tell. It looked off to me for some reason. LeBron 3s from Cooper Fitty and DJ Hot Sauce with the AJ4 Columbias. Manny Gee in the silver wolf gray, if you will, Air Jordan 3s. And the girl with the kicks, shout out to her. She also has a YouTube channel, if you guys didn't know. Smaller channel, but cool channel nonetheless. And I like that she's wearing those reverse black grapes there. Joe Stuff, the white cement 4s. I like how he used the little thing into the white cement 4 in the backdrop. That's pretty rad. And Slim with the baby AJ13 Columbias. Those are awesome. And then Alex with these things were underrated, man. The military blues. I have a feeling they'll have a cult following again someday. But maybe if they were remastered, I'd be happy because the quality wasn't super hot on them. And Mac Frost rocking the Tiffany's, and D-Mac, as you can see right here in Portland, rocking the ones. Thanks, MisterHYPE, for writing this article and putting those together with the hashtags. I like that he does that consistently. It's pretty awesome. Collective deals on sneaker releases, discounts, and codes. 4/17. There was a bunch of stuff that's ended up dropping. Most notably, I'll throw out there is the 6-tier shelf unit that I have for my sneaker room. It's only $70 right now. Go to this article and check out the link to that if you guys are interested. And $70 for that is a steal shipped. Like, shipping that alone would cost $70. I don't know how they make any money because it's so heavy. It's a big, heavy box, and they're shipping it for $70. I don't understand it. And it's solid. It's a really good quality shelf unit for the price. I'd buy another one, except for I have the room full of shelves, so I don't need it. Did a video on the Zoom LeBron Retro 2s potentially coming out. If you guys missed that video, check out the video. But that is a colorway that they're teasing as the first retro, kind of the Dunkman-ish colorway. My top 5 Nike LeBron 12 Elite designs on NikeID. I did a couple of fun ones, I thought. Most notably the Thanos colorway with kind of the infinity gems on the bottom of the shoe. There was a Destro colorway, as you can see here, and then there's a couple more. The Glow colorway and an Oregon State Beavers. There was actually 6 designs that I did. I want you guys to send me your guys' designs, though, like on Instagram or on Twitter, hashtag CollectivekicksID, or just tag me at HESKICKS. But hashtag CollectivekicksID if you can remember it, because then I can go back and look later. But I want to see what you guys can do with the Elite designs. Pretty cool options. They're obviously really expensive at $320. But just as a heads up for you actually listening to this video, I do have a pair that I did design that I will be getting. So just a heads up, I did order a pair. FILA Mashburn and Oneness collaboration. From what I heard, those actually sold out, which is one of the first FILAs that I've heard sold out. Shout out to kicksreason for keeping up to date on the FILAs and the Reeboks as usual. DP did this article. It was a pretty interesting one about wear your kicks. It was actually a well-written article. Kudos to him. I was kind of like hesitant at first, and then when I got into it and I started reading, I was like, this is actually pretty dope. So check out that article and read it. It's worth a read if you guys want to read any articles this week. And it's just really about the dynamic of, you always hear people saying wear your kicks, and like rock them, don't stock them, and all these things. And you guys already know my stance on the matter. Like I have a ton of dead stock sneakers, and I've kept them for years. And it's one of those things where like I appreciate the shoes regardless if they're in the box or they're on my feet, and I don't have to stunt on everybody. This was before Instagram, before social media. Like I'd have a closet full of sneakers, and I was just happy with having them, not having to share that with the world. Since then, it's obviously escalated quite a bit with the whole YouTube thing, and I'm passionate about sharing those things with other people because it's fun. But I don't like it when people judge the fact that I'm not wearing the sneakers that I own, that I purchased with my own money. I can choose to wear them if I want. A lot of people like have this thing where it's like you bought the sneakers, you have to wear them. But it's just like I'll wear them when I feel like it, if I feel like wearing them. And some of them are art pieces to me, and I definitely don't even want to throw them on my feet. It just doesn't do them any justice to put them on my feet and scuff them up. I'd rather keep them dead stock. And that's just the way I feel about some of the models that I have. Some of them definitely I don't care about like that. There's some of them that has sentimental value. And that's the other thing that gets to me. Like you see a lot of people say, rock your kicks, wear your kicks. And then they're like, I wear all my kicks. And then like I hear this on a lot of sneak peeks and stuff. They're like, wear all my kicks. And then they go through their collection, through the sneak peek. They're like, oh, I've never worn that pair. Or like, oh, that pair is always going to stay dead stock. But it's funny. It's the same mentality, but just they're like, oh, I'm telling everybody wear your sneakers, but they're like, nah, those ones I'll never wear. Those ones mean too much to me. So it's just kind of a kind of a contradiction, and that's why for me there's just no judgment. If you say wear your sneakers, I'm cool. I'm just like wear your sneakers, it's cool. If you say I'm keeping this pair on ice because I just don't want to wear them, like I'm cool with it too. Like I understand both sides of the coin. So my bottom line is just don't judge other people's situations you don't know. And if they don't want to wear their sneakers for some reason, I mean, Perfect Pair is a prime example. His brother had a pair that he has and he'll never wear that means something to him. It's very sentimental to him, and I totally respect that. So it is what it is. Just throwing that out there. A rant over. But anyway, moving on. Are these the K54s? And it's not Quai. It's K54 for those that don't know. It's a tournament. And it's a street ball tournament that happens in Paris, I believe. And we skipped last year. The last K54 shoe that we saw was the Military 4s. And actually, I did a video on those a long time ago. I had them in hand. It was a friend's pair. And I just wanted to show them to you guys and stuff. They were pretty cool. It was actually the Military 4s with just the label over top with the K54 on the tongue. Kind of lazy on Jordan Brand's side, but they wanted to do something. They didn't do anything last year, but it looks like they are bringing something for 2015. So curious to see what's going to happen. Doubt we'll see a stateside release as usual because it is overseas only. Nike LeBron 12 USA images kind of look very patriotic to myself. Obviously stars and stripes. And kind of I like the foil look on the red. Not so bad. I just don't know what they're going to be. I wonder if they're going to be an extra $20 because it has a different kind of theme to it. LeBrons have been so inconsistent with pricings. It's just been extremely frustrating. 200 or 220 or whatever it might be. And then a lot of times you can get them on sale for like 138 to 160 depending on the model. So just throwing that out there on eBay. Did these release? Rumor is yes that they released in LA in a little pop-up shop. Very, very limited run. I just am curious to see how or why. I haven't checked in with any internal sources yet, and I haven't checked in with any internal sources in a while on any articles or any information. I just am trying to keep my distance from that because I don't want to leak information that I'm not supposed to be doing. I've kind of got my hand slapped a couple times, and I just trying to respect that boundary. But I'm very curious about this because the AJ13 releasing would be really, really weird. And the fact that they did it in a pop-up, and I know that there's replicas out there of the shoes, so it's just one of those things just to be careful of. If you are actually trying to buy them for a couple stacks, just make sure you know what you're buying, man. That's all I can say. Because I would hate to be the guy that buys a $2,000, $3,000 pair of sneakers. Not that I ever would do that anyway. But then find out there were like replicas on top of it. That would just be brutal. Anyway, the Asics and Bates Misfits, these ones are a must for me. The black and orange colorway I think are done very, very nice. And I'm sure the materials are going to be dope as well. So bangobuck wrote that article right there. But definitely drew my attention as soon as I saw those. I was like, yep, those are going to happen. Those drop next weekend. Hopefully I'll be able to get them online. Air Jordan 1 low OG Royal and Gray, are they confirmed or not? I don't know. Smiley wrote this article. It sounds like they might be happening. These look like Photoshops, though, off of the red pair. So I'm just throwing that out there. It looks like this guy Photoshopped these ones, but maybe not. I mean, because you can see hints of red underneath it. And I was like actually saying that in my video. Like, what if they have a bread or a Royal Low? People are going to freak out if they actually have that. So these two would sell out instantly if they did drop. I'm not sure 100% if it's actually happening or when it would be happening. Colorways of the Black Brand crossover 2s are happening tomorrow. They're releasing. They look pretty nice, actually. If you can see the 3 colorways right there. MisterHYPE wrote that article. kicksreason wrote an article on the Reebok and the Hanon collaboration, which is available, I think, now. So if you guys are interested in those, feel free to check those ones out. I don't know if he linked them or not, but just go to Hanon's website. Moving on, upcoming concepts, Asics Gel-Lyte 3 rumored release. They look like, I swear those ones already released. Maybe I don't know. PJ wrote this article, but definitely some gold. Oh, you know what they were? It was the Ronnie Fieg joints. That's why I think that these ones are not. So interesting. I think that's okay. I don't know. I'm totally off. I don't know my Asics at all. But is this something you guys are going to be interested in picking up? It looks very similar to something else I've seen, I guess. The Air Mag NikeSB Dunk Low first look. These are going to be happening. And the insoles look like hoverboards. I thought that was pretty rad. And I don't know if his article showed the images of that, but there was some updated recent pictures. Definitely on the pickup list for me. Just a fun themed colorway that I definitely want to get. And I do have my DeLorean Dunk, so it'll be a nice pairing of that, as well as my KYRIE Air Mags that I designed. 50% off a clearance sale at Barney's, up to 80% savings. I just thrown this out there because there was a lot of random Nike stuff out there. You could get some Air Force Ones for like $50, and leather belts that are usually $125 for only $25. So pretty crazy savings at Barney's. And I don't know. I figured I'd share that with you guys if you guys are interested in it. Nike Lab Kobe 10 Elite Lows. Those are the talk of the town. I don't know when they actually dropped, if they dropped already, but super limited. I'm curious if it's going to be the same as last year, where they're super limited, and then like later we're going to have the Kobe 10 Elites on NikeID. I'm assuming we're going to have to. And it's funny that the limited like Nike Lab release like draws so much attention to the Kobe low now. And I don't know if it's the Nike Lab or the Flyknit or the combination of all of them. It's just hype on hype on hype. Sometimes it gets a little old, to be honest. Like, I mean, if, I don't know, it builds on itself. Like, people don't like things unless there's something that's limited or something that somebody else likes. And it takes a while to come into your own sense of style and taste, but it's just funny how people are so adamant and so hateful and leave so many comments of, like, those are trash. Like, putting down other people's purchases that they've got, saying, like, those Kobe 10s that you bought are trash. Like, they look stupid on feet or whatever it might be. And then they're like, oh my gosh, no way, the Elite Low HTMs are dropping. I got to get a pair. Like, it just, I don't know. It just drives me crazy sometimes. Moving on, Air Max 90 OG Infrared returns again. Rumored release date of 5/16 for 120. This is not the patch form. And actually, I kind of dig the fact that they're coming back without the patch form. The patches were kind of cool, but like for the Air Max 95s, I just didn't get it. Like, the placement on the back patch didn't fit on the location. It just seemed really weird. Quick strike that happened last week, the Nike Lab DSM Air Jordan 1s. This is a Dover Street Market. Dropped on the 16th online, wrecked the internet when it tried to drop, and they're selling for a stack now. It's just funny how, like, those things kind of happen. Like, they just drop randomly, and it seems like Jordan Brand's doing a lot more of this, the kind of quick strike kind of collaboration releases where you just can't get the sneakers. Like these, the OVO 10s that dropped just in LA, and then you have like the Just Dawns that dropped very, very random places, and then you had the Fragments that dropped online. There seems like this year there's way more limited stuff dropping that you just can't get, and I haven't gotten any of them. There's no way I'm getting them, and I'm not paying resale on any of them either. But it's kind of feeding that niche market of those that really want stuff like that. But I'm curious if it's taking away from the general release supply and demand as well. Like, people would rather pay $1,000 for that than $400 for two, retro general releases or something like that. So GRs are the prices of the resale market are super low. Just an interesting concept I was just curious about, but maybe I'll touch up about that more in a video as we go, and maybe in another day or something. Supreme, Daniel Johnson spring summer collection. Smiley wrote the article there. If you guys are interested in seeing that, it ended up dropping last Thursday as well. Kobe 10 Elite, again, 3 colorways. I just did the other article. Shoe Games did the original one. I did one with more images. First look, the concept's NikeSB Dunk High stained glass, kind of churchy looking stained glass windows, kind of eerie to me. Just growing up Catholic my entire life. I'm not Catholic practicing now, so, but still cool nonetheless. I mean, definitely like a nice kind of a fun concept for those. No pun intended. But I don't know the release date on those. You have to check the article or check back to the website, and we'll have some more release information soon. Reebok ventilators, ultra limited model. I'm not really sure much about those. kicksreason wrote those. I can't even pronounce the name. Pierre. Check out that article if you want. I like the pineapple. I'll say that. That little silver pineapple is pretty badass. Moving on, trying to get through this. There's a lot of stuff, as I was mentioning. A lot more collective deals as I was posting here. Some pretty decent prices on some stuff. 136 on some Air Max 95 or Air Max 2015s is a steal. It's a pretty good price and really, really comfortable sneakers. Article by PJ, local Facebook groups, pros and cons. Great article. If you guys haven't actually looked at the article, worth reading. Goes over a lot of just the pros and cons of Facebook groups and the risk of meetups and flakes and there's a lot of positive as well, not paying eBay fees and whatnot. Our Collective Kicks from last week, MisterHYPE did that article if you guys want to check that one out. More Collective Kicks bargains. Jordan release dates for some holiday 2015 stuff, some Laney 14s, and a bunch of other pairs of Jordans, a couple of new ones, the Jordan 8s in particular, and the Jordan 7s there that you can see pictured. And definitely some of those ones are on my radar. Those 8s actually are pretty sweet looking, and then the Aquas again. Even though I have a pair of the Aquas from the last retro, I definitely want to get a new one, just compare it for the remastered kind of effect, if you will. FILA T1 mid video review from kicksreason. Go check out his video. Subscribe to him if you guys haven't. He's a great dude. Does a lot of content for the site, and one of the longest standing writers we have on the site. Retro rumor for the Air Jordan 7 Orion or Orions. I'd be curious to see how these ones are received. The last time they were received horribly, but mostly because they were horribly created. Like there was a defect rate of like, I don't know, over 50% I think of the ones manufactured. The paint was off on all of them. Most of them were recalled from the retailers, and like Foot Locker and stuff. They were recalled and not sold. Ended up on outlets for the B grades, and I got a pair of the B grades from the outlets for like $100. But curious to see how they are with remastered leather and how they'll sell. Last week I did an article on this, the KYRIE 1 TMNT Ninja Turtle pack with a shredder in there as well, and Splinter. Had some fun with that, so if you guys wanted to check that out. And I actually created a newer version with some patches on it as well. Just kind of a fun look to that. And the LeBron 12 low PE with the King James PE that he had. The post games look pretty crazy. You have that Oregon State colorway themed with that. In my opinion, the kind of the reddish orange and black. Always fun. And new pictures of the Milita green. I thought these ones were gold, but they actually are green. And the De La Soul Dunk Low preview. No idea when these are actually going to be releasing, but definitely on the cop list. I have the highs, definitely need the lows. And I like the lows better than the highs. I mean, this rendition, just because of the colorway. Some custom Air Jordan 11 lasers. Pretty sick custom. And they're not lasered. It's actually a freehand job, like over top, like written in, which is pretty nice. KD7 Ice Cream preview. Another colorway coming out. And then another KD7 Elite EYBL. It's the Elite basketball or youth basketball series or something like that, or league. Yeah, Elite Youth Basketball League, sorry. But kind of a cool colorway nonetheless of that. And that's pretty much it, dudes. I'll leave you guys with that. The Xenos did restock. If you guys are still trying to pick up the gray pair, check my Twitter and stuff, and actually check the article out. There might be some links inside here that actually have it, because they're still available in some places. And actually, one of my collective deals I tweeted out, you can buy them for $100 shipped. It's actually on sale, which is a pretty crazy price. There's more articles here. I guess I'll cover these last three and then call it a day. The Lightning Wave 3 design contest, and they'll receive the official released pair that you ended up designing. I thought that was awesome. Really cool concept on that. Replica Jordan Factory shows off some infrared 6s, some Concord 11s, and Bordeaux 7s. Did I say Concord 7s? Concord 11s, Bordeaux 7s, and some more. There was some Oreos as well in this article. But kind of crazy. Definitely want to just be on the lookout if you're buying them after markets, and just make sure you get something that's if you care about that, make sure that it's from an authorized retailer. And I covered how you can kind of protect yourself in a video long ago, but really you just make sure that the seller is legit, and that's a hard thing to do nowadays. But and then Ray Allen shows off some sneakers from his sneaker room, some redone shelves that he did. Pretty nice looking sneaker room. Finally, we'll cover the last little part in the release dates, because there's so many releases next weekend. What are you guys planning on copying next week? I'm curious to see. There is a ton of stuff dropping, probably because they pushed back some stuff from this week, but you can see the week of the 24th, there is the Air Max 90 Corks on the 24th, the KYRIE 1s, the Air Jordan 13 Midnight Navies, the Air Jordan 7 Girls Purple Quartz, and there's some Nike Shox R4 Retros, which is their first pair of Shox. I loved those back in the day. Also, the 25th, we have the AJ7 Barcelona Days, and I guess those are the Bobcats, if you will, and then the Air Jordan 11 Lab 4s, and the LeBron 11 or LeBron 12 EXT Rubber Cities. All those dropping next week. So there's that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like eight pairs of sneakers at least. And then there's the other ones that are not on here, the Asics, the black and orange Asics as well. But what do you guys plan on copying? Anything next week? I for sure am going for the 11 Lab 4s. Those are a must for me. And then the 90 Corks. Those are the two that I kind of want. AJ7s would be a pickup maybe, but I'd rather get the 11 Lab 4s personally. LeBron Rubber Cities look dope, but they're just too expensive. Considering all of the other drops, I'd rather have the AJ4s than the LeBron 12s. So there's just so many things dropping, it's hard to keep up. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully the mic quality was okay. And catch you guys for some more videos soon. And thanks for watching. Peace, guys.